What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem slings its way into theaters this weekend, making it another TMNT movie. These are my non-spoiler thoughts on the film. Let me know down below in the comment section what are your thoughts on TMNT Mutant Mayhem, up there for this year for longest title, and who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? Let me know all that down below. Stay tuned, because in a couple of days we'll have a TMNT ranking of all the Ninja Turtle movies from the 90s, the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, and now the 2020s. It's like 3 to 4 decades. Absolutely crazy. Let's get into this. So I saw this movie a couple of days earlier, one of those early advanced screenings, and they had the little like kind of behind the scenes before the movie, and Seth Rogen was talking how they wanted everything about this movie to be teenager aspect, kind of like have that teenage feel. So the animation design looks like it was drawn by teenagers when they're doodling in their sketchbooks at school. The voice cast is actually voiced by teenagers, and it did something that no other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie has done. It's actually focused on the teens. Every other time it's been like an adult voice in these Ninja Turtles. So the fact that they went so hard on the teenage part of this really made me appreciate the movie that much more, and to be able to see kind of Seth Rogen talking and really kind of where all of his ideas came from for this movie, that's what I think made me appreciate everything they gave us in the film. And when you go into the movie, the voice cast for these 4 Ninja Turtles is absolutely fantastic. They are all so different. They all sound like young teenagers, and they have the teenage slang everyone says. I think I'm getting old because I still don't really know what Riz means, so you got the Riz, but they really hit on that throughout the movie. And again, the teenage aspect really makes this movie what it is, because yes, they're hitting on it, but these core teenagers, they're just very relatable. They want so much more out there in the world. They want to be accepted in the world. That's all you really want as a teenager. But with this movie, you're not only focusing on the teenage part of this, but you're just focusing on the family aspect of this. Jackie Chan voices Splinter. Jackie Chan probably is the best voice actor throughout this movie. My entire theater was erupting with laughter at how he was talking about this, how he thinks his kids are going to go out there, get kidnapped by humans, and they're going to get milked. They kept hitting on that joke, and it landed literally every single time. The animation style is so unique and so different. It's like Mitchell's vs. Machines, and it's like the Spider-Verse. Like, it's such a different style of animation that is just so beautiful. Like, when you're watching, you're kind of just in awe just how well they made the animation style look in this movie. And when you're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you gotta talk about the Ninja Turtles themselves. My favorite is Raphael. I've always been a Raphael fan, but Leonardo, Donatello, Mikey, and Raph, they just vibe so well. They all bounce off each other so well. And I think the best voice actor out of this group was Leonardo. I mean, he just carried. Every time he kind of delivered, trying to be that leader, but a little too scared to be the leader yet. It worked really well, but I think the guy with the funniest and probably most lines in Ninja Turtles was Donatello, and he really got a limelight in this movie. I feel like a lot of the Ninja Turtle movies, Donnie's just kind of like, oh, he's just like the nerdy one. This one really hit on him, and he has some badass moments throughout the entirety of this movie. They really give Donatello the limelight, and I appreciated that. The voice cast is off the wazoo here. You have John Cena, Seth Rogen, very minor roles. I didn't even recognize John Cena's voice. Mr. Beast voices someone. Didn't even recognize that till he posted it on his Instagram that he was in this movie. But Ice Cube being one of the big standouts here. He's playing our villain in Superfly. Honestly, menacing villain. He has more of that physical presence as a villain rather than a super mind. He kind of just wants to take over the world and kill all the humans because they try to milk him. You know, they really hit on that joke throughout there. But he has more of that physical presence. None of the other mutants can even touch this dude. So that makes him more of like an unstoppable villain throughout this. But Ice Cube being the villain, again, wasn't the main part of this. It's about these turtles, about these boys who meet up with this girl named April, and they're each using each other to really all rise up in like society so everyone can accept both of them, because they both are kind of down on their luck, and it really hits good, and it pays homage to that throughout the entire movie. And they have a really good relationship throughout it that is charming and sweet, and honestly it just puts a smile on your face, and the entire movie is going to put a smile on your face. Couple negatives I have in there. Number one, I don't know if this movie was a PG movie made for kids or was more of a PG-13 movie, because sometimes the action was a little bit like aggressive, but also some of the language they had throughout this. They were swearing several times in there. Ice Cube's gonna swear, it's just what he does. So I felt like they were kind of balancing as a PG, PG-13. I felt like I had almost an identity crisis with that. And also, the big negative throughout this that kind of made me roll my eyes just a little bit is that it is a very, very cliche story, one you've seen countless times before. You know how it's going to start, where it's going to go, and how it's going to end. But then at the end of the day, when I left the theater, I was thinking, that doesn't really matter. That wasn't really the point about this movie. The point about this movie was focusing on the teenage aspect of these Ninja Turtles and how they just want to be accepted into society. And by the end of the movie, it sets up for a fantastic sequel that I'm really looking forward to. At the end of the day, I had a ton of fun with Teenage Mutant Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. A mouthful of a name, but nonetheless, I had a lot of fun. It was so good to be able to explore these kids as they are meant to be kids, and the voice cast is absolutely fantastic with one of the best looking animated movies in recent memory. Overall for score, I'm going to go a solid 4 out of 5. I dug this one, and I cannot wait to go out and check it again. Let me know your thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem down below in the comments section. Come back in a couple days, we're going to have an ultimate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ranking on the channel. I'm excited for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.